Which came first, the chicken or the egg? No one knows, but we do know how a single cell grows into a baby chick in only 3 weeks. Why study a chicken embryo? Simple. It's easy to observe. Also, while all embryos, including humans, develop in much the same way, a baby chick hatches in just 21 days. Let's look at the egg itself. How do each of its parts contribute to the growth of an embryo? If we break open an egg, we see a membrane lining the inside of the shell, and at one end, an air cell, which cushions the growing embryo and provides the first breath of air for the chick just before hatching. Next, the thin white and the thick white. This is the chalaza cord, fastening the yolk to the shell. The young embryo is that small spot on the yolk. It's called the blastoderm. Here is a total environment for development of a tiny embryo into a mature chick. No, this isn't a birdhouse. It's an egg candling device to help us see into the egg without breaking the shell. The light shining through the hole and through the egg will reveal a shadow of what's in the shell. In this fresh egg, we can see the air cell at the top where it's light. But let's look at an egg that's been in the incubator for perhaps a week. We see solid objects. And with a bit of experience, we could identify head, feet, and even the oversized eye at later stages of development. We've seen the shadow. Now, we'll break the egg into water and see the actual embryo development. Mostly a network of blood vessels and the beginning of body development in the center. We have candled eggs, broken one out into warm water, and now we'll cut a window in the shell so we can watch the embryo in a natural condition. At the air cell end, we tap a hole large enough to insert the point of manicure scissors. We carefully snip out a hole, increasing it in size gradually. Now it's large enough to see the membrane. We've cut far enough. And now we'll carefully remove the protective membrane with forceps. Now we can see the living embryo. If you look very closely with a magnifying glass, this is what you see. The large dark spot in the lower right is an eye. The other eye is occasionally visible as the embryo swings to and fro. This constant movement is typical of the growing embryo. This is a 5-day embryo. And now let's look at one not as developed. This is 3 days old. The very busy object inside a large question mark is the heart. Here is an embryo half developed. It's 10 to 12 days old. Notice the well-formed head with beak and eye, and the foot almost in its mouth. Another embryo, about the same age, may reveal other features. We see both feet curled up to the head. And notice the white spot at the end of the beak. This is called the egg tooth and will be used to crack the shell when hatching. The ear is behind the eye. You will see the hole briefly above the eye in the picture. That's an ear. Three living embryos at different stages. This is an excellent way to study growth and development. While the activity of an embryo is fascinating to watch, the hatch is what we've been waiting for. It's a hard struggle, so the chicks work a bit and then rest. Some are already hatched, and others are just beginning to peck their way out of the shell. Watch this egg all the way to final hatch. The battle is over. In a short time, the wetness will dry out, and a fluffy little chick will be looking for breakfast. We know now how the embryo develops, but we still wonder, which came first? Was it the chicken or the egg?